Doom 2016 is undoubtedly a masterpiece. For casual gamers, with its variety of locations, weapons and enemies, you will never get bored. Luckily, the same feeling stays for few of us who are looking for a challenge. Hello darlings, my name is HK92 and welcome to Difficulty Review. This review's focus is on the gameplay of the game and how the game challenges the player on the hardest difficulty. I will not go into great detail of each level, just into ones that are necessary for better understanding and explanation of the game. Doom Nightmare difficulty is quite a challenge. It's unforgiving in its nature and forcing you to move a lot, making a game dynamic. The only thing that gets kind of pale is the way you complete levels. It's basically go there, destroy a demon nest, get some upgrades, meet some new enemies and repeat. But it's done in such a way where that is not a problem but a feature. The Doom gameplay is something that a lot of games these days are missing. Let me explain. Its gameplay is made for Doom and Doom alone. It's not trying to be a Call of Duty or some kind of Japanese RPG. It's Doom, and it has its identity written in stone. I have to correct myself, the game these days are not missing the gameplay, but an identity. Something that makes them recognizable. And Doom is a bright beacon. The opening of the game is the best proof of that. The main part of the opening goes something like this. You get a shotgun, meet the imps, and destroy their nest. No, wait, that's the second try. The first try went something more along these lines. Get a shotgun, meet the imps, kill a couple of them, lose my tempo, panic, and die. The game's learning curve is a bit of a steep climb for the first 30 minutes, and then a pretty smooth ride for the rest of the way, which is a bit dull, but the game does throw you a curveball every so often, in the shape of a map design or a new enemy. The game is unforgiving and that is completely expected from a game on the hardest difficulty, but it is really inconsistent. I cannot say if it was simply me getting better at the game, or me being good at the games in general. Or it had to do with developers underestimating your power with all the new weapons we get. As we moved forward, the game has some weird drops in difficulty, and it is the first thing we will discuss. In total there are 13 missions in Doom, each one of them is quite a unique experience, whether that is the new enemies, a new type of area or new loot. Each one of those missions vary in difficulty without any recognizable rule. It sometimes feels like the developers were letting you win on purpose for a reason probably being better user experience, making you struggle to progress to the next stage where you will find new weapons or upgrades, and that way it didn't feel necessarily easy but earned. I could beat the enemies because I knew what tools to use and what to do with them. For example, take the first mission. I got stuck on it for 20-ish minutes on the second stage of the mission. You have to clear an area of possessed imps and possessed soldiers. The difficulty came from limited amount of ammo and the strength of the enemies, because I'm not properly equipped at the time, and the combination of type of the enemies. Notice how I didn't say the tankiness of the enemies, but more on that shortly. The tempo of the fight is determined by the projectiles of the imps and the soldiers. The right way to play it out is with glory kills, because glory kills not only give you the absolutely god-given HP and the ammo, it also gives you second or two of immunity, giving you that moment to assess the situation and giving you a chance to think how to proceed. Now regarding the strengths of the enemies, I must say I'm quite impressed how the game gave each and every enemy so much uniqueness, and one of the aspects of the difficulty of the game comes from that. You see, the possessed are quite easy to take care of. You don't even need a ranged weapon, you can handle it with the melee without problems. The imps alone are a bit tricky with their fast ranged attacks and their agility, or more so ability to reposition or run away. The possessed soldiers can take a shot or two to the face, but they are generally immobile and slow. And they have a special ability, so to say, where he shoots a barrage of bullets. Each one of those enemies are quite weak on their own, even in large numbers, but if you set it up so possessed are in the front, imps are on flanks and sprinkle a couple of possessed soldiers around, and you have yourself quite a hard stage of the mission. The developers are quite aware of it, and they use it quite often. And then they made a couple of questionable choices. The problem number one is they did not take into the account the secrets. Now, secrets are a big part of the Doom franchise. They can contain random trinkets, lore, ammo, health, etc. Or, the most important part, a new type of weapons. The sad problem happens on the second mission, where not only do you get an assault rifle with its evergreen micro-rocket attachment, you can also find a plasma rifle. With those two new weapons, next two missions were a complete walk into the park.
No way! I already found this gun? That's so cool.
Yes, I did die a couple of times, but it was due to my incompetence rather than the difficulty of the level. And then for whatever reason comes the Argent Energy Tower, and Bethesda bombs you.
Presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown in effect.
Jesus, dude. This is gonna be fun.
I'm generally conflicted on how to feel about it. In one hand, yes, I do want a challenge, and yes, I do want the game to go up in the difficulty, but that does not excuse that the last two levels lacked in any kind of challenge. To give you a better perception on why I'm not triggered but confused, I'll give you a rundown of all of my equipment and the types of enemies I encountered. On my person, I had a pistol, which I did not use after the first level, a shotgun with the explosive shot attachment. It's a grenade-like explosive projectile with a low arc trajectory, a frag grenade, and just a short digression. The utilities for this game are, as in many others, are useless. I believe I went whole game without throwing a single grenade, and it just seems like games cannot get the right formula for the grenades and items alike. Anyway, I also had a chainsaw, a plasma rifle with heat blast module. It's a module that weaponizes the rifle's heat waste, a heavy assault rifle with a micro missile attachment. It launches a cluster of small rockets from a side-mounted missile rack, a rocket launcher with a lock-on burst. It's a fire and forget guidance system for the rockets, and the cherry on top, the all reliable and one and only super shotgun. In other words, I was jacked to the tits. I was ready to take the demons by the wee-wees, if you will. When it comes to demons, one of the main things this game is going with is personality, and not only with their attacks, but their AI. The AI in this game is genuinely great. At no point of the game did I feel like I was exploiting the stupidity of an AI, or demons, whatever you could call it. But, and that's a huge but, the AI was not made for a Doom game. Let me explain. In no point of the game did I feel like a Doom Slayer, not even versus the weak enemies. I felt more like a Doom evader, because the tools I had and the tools demons had were reversed, in the sense that I was the one being hunted and demons were ones that were hunters. I had the tools to defend myself, but not to attack. And another thing that felt completely out of place were the Doom runes, or stones. I do not remember what they were called. But they were honestly useless. I ended up doing them because my chat told me that they will be important. By the way, join me on my Discord for notifications about my future content and streams, and also subscribe if you are interested in content like difficulty reviews, reviews for smaller games, and deep dives into game trailers that I find interesting. Anyway, I have an open mind policy and I allow my viewers to backseat me. Not because I get stuck sometimes and I need someone to hold my hand and guide me, definitely not because of that, but because that way I see your past experiences and I get a clearer and broader picture of the effect the game had on players. While the rules did provide benefits, I did not opt to invest time to do them, and I have not felt any consequences later on. Another weird, I wouldn't say problem, but better yet oversight that was made by the developers is the moment you get the super shotgun, all other weapons become obsolete. There is no need for them whatsoever. Now you might say, but what about demo? They had to balance it that way, and I laugh in your faces as I max out the amount of ammo I can carry, and I cannot hear your counter arguments because of the sound of the roaring chainsaw and the ammo pouring out of dead demon bodies. Each and every weapon does indeed have a purpose and use in the game, from the assault rifle to the Gauss rifle. But the super shotgun simply does those things faster and better, and oftentimes I felt like I was cheating when I was using it. But I opted for a more fun way of doing stuff, the proper way, and use all of the weapons for their intended purpose. One of the ways that I showed that I was using them for their purpose was the Advanced Research Complex level. In my humble opinion, the best level. Maybe it's because of the nostalgia, maybe it was because the level truly tested my limits, but this particular part of that level has 3 stages. A long hall where I died countless times to the fucking pinkies, stage 2, the smaller area reminiscent of the original Doom, filled with demons to the brim, and the final stage in an even smaller room with barons of hell. The bloodbath. It was for all intents and purposes a hellhole.
There you go. No! Hello, buddy. Jesus Christ. Brother? Where is the bitch? She's down there. No, she's not. Come on! No, 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 no. No! Fuck. There's too many of them.
To say that the gameplay is not fun even with its flaws would be a big fat lie, but there are some rusty spots that are clearly visible. The game falls off a bit during the last 2 levels, where the enemies seem to get all in your way to forbid you from getting to the boss fights. The boss fights themselves were super fun, I have zero objections on them. They were interactive and responsive fights, they did not feel dull, and they did not feel like I was shooting at a sponge. The game as a whole falls off definitely regarding the difficulty aspect, whether that was due to my skill or utter strength of the super shotgun. I'll let you decide down in the comments. My final verdict for the game is a 7 out of 10. While the gameplay is definitely in the goals, the difficulty does not reach even the bronze. Till the next time.
Nice. 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 Okay, honestly, he's not that hard. Goodbye. Bullshit. Bullshit. Bro, I use all of my ammo. Bro. Bro. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay, bro. Come on. Okay, the gun is not doing damage to him. Oh, I have ammo. There we go. No! What do you mean? I'm calling cap on that hit. I'm calling a cap on that hit.